Hello y'all, this is Rewriting the Great War, a wild alternate history mod for Hearts of Iron 4, based off of the works of the YouTuber Rewriting History. This modification takes place in 1910, at least it starts in that year, and it is in a somewhat early stage of development, as for now the only playable nation is the Principality of Monaco, as only they have a focus tree and national spirits, and as far as ideologies go, they're all the same as Vanilla Hoi 4, and for technology, it's more or less the same, it looks like, although there is some differences, it seems, for the special forces part of the infantry, part of the technology tree maybe. Yeah, that's just kind of the way it is. And so just to explain the lore of this timeline and just what happened up to 1910, for one, Monaco formed France in 1871. Some gambling may have been involved, and I think the Franco-Prussian War happened. Yeah, I believe it did, and that exists. That's a thing. San Marino formed Italy in 1865. Greater Yugoslavia was formed before World War I, and Bolivia won the War of the Pacific. Liechtenstein bought Alaska in 1867. The Toledo War collapsed the USA in 1848. And just for the sake of explaining what the Toledo War was, I believe it was between Michigan and Ohio. It involved some kind of land dispute. And besides that, in 1848, well, that all happened in 1848. Sweden and Norway never broke up in this world. Spain won the Spanish-American War. And Qing, China won the Opium Wars. Japan remained isolationist. Germany and Austria fought over colonies, so they never really allied. And on top of everything else, due to Britain's master plan, the UK's master plan, no major countries in Europe can ally. And I believe the only countries or the only factions in the world when you start in Rewriting the Great War are the Allies, led by the UK, and the League of Neutrality, and that consists of Liechtenstein and Switzerland. And Liechtenstein is the faction leader of that. Alright then. And that's the factions. Let's now go over all the countries in the world. We'll begin in South America, then go from there. So going across the Atlantic, we have Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador. Some of these countries and their leaders may just be placeholders for now, because as said before, this modification is somewhat in an early stage of development. We have Peru, Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, Argentina. There is Chile and Uruguay, and that's basically the standard South America setup you'd see in Vanilla Hoi 4, I would say. Then over in Africa, things are definitely different, because we have an independent kingdom of Morocco, Spanish Africa, really. Here's the Principality of the Principality of Monaco, and they're kind of replacing the French presence in Africa and West Africa and North Africa especially. Then we have the Republic of San Marino, I guess Libya. Then there is the United Kingdom and Egypt and the Sudan. We have independent Ethiopia. Liberia is doing whatever. There's the German Empire. They have Cameroon and Chad and places like that. And here is Spain and Gabon and Equatorial Guinea. There's the Belgian Congo. There's Portuguese, Mozambique, and Angola. And we have the United Kingdom here once more. There's German Namibia. Here is South Africa. And the British control Madagascar. Wow. So going across the Indian Ocean, we have Australia. Then there is, say, New Zealand. We have the Germans and Papua, I guess. Yeah, they're there. Then there is the Dutch East Indies. They're a subject of the Dutch. There is British Malaya. They're a puppet of the British. We have the Philippines, which in this timeline, by 1910, they're a subject of the British. They're a dominion, more or less. Then we have Siam, who has control over their territory, but also Laos and Cambodia. And that's that. Then we have, basically, the UK has Vietnam. It's British Vietnam, British Indochina, but it's controlled by the UK. There's Portuguese Taiwan, and we have China, which is, Qing China won the Opium Wars. There's no century of humiliation. It never happens in Rewriting the Great War. I guess maybe Chiang Kai-shek is kind of like a placeholder leader, maybe. Here we have independent Korea, and here we have Japan, who remained isolationist in this world. Then we have the British Raj, and there is Nepal and Bhutan. And then going over toward the Middle East, we have Afghanistan, Persia, the Ottoman Empire, which is alive, I'll just say that much. It is 1910, they were alive at this point in our own world. Here's Saudi Arabia, there's the United Kingdom in the Arabian Peninsula, we have Oman, and then going into Europe now, we have Russia, Big Russia. They basically have the borders of the Russian Empire. I'm not sure if they have the Russian Empire in charge or not technically. Maybe they, I don't know, in the lore maybe. Then we have Sweden. It's basically Sweden, Norway though. We have the German Empire, Austria. There is independent Romania. We have Ottoman, Serbo-Bulgaria. They're a puppet of the Ottoman Empire. Here is the Ottoman Empire. There's the Kingdom of Greece. And we have Ottoman Albania. Basically, it's just controlled by the Ottoman Empire directly. We have the Kingdom of Greece, and Greece is somewhat smaller than usual. Then we have the Principality, well, the Republic of Montenegro in, well, Montenegro. Then we have the Republic of San Marino. And it looks like Austria controls Sardinia, and Monaco controls Corsica. Very interesting. Then there is the Principality of Liechtenstein, Switzerland. Here is the Principality of Monaco, which is basically this world's France. There's Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and in Iberia we have Spain and Portugal. Then in the British Isles there's the UK. They just control everything. And here is Danish Iceland and Danish Greenland. Then the UK controls pieces of Canada, well, Labrador and Newfoundland. We have the Dominion of Canada. They have control over Oregon and Idaho. So they're slightly bigger in this world in 1910 compared to our own timeline. Here is Liechtenstein and Alaska. There is Big Mexico. So I wonder, due to that whole Toledo War messing with the USA, the Mexican-American War never happened because of its similar dates. And that could be the case when Mexico is bigger and rewriting the Great War to control, say, Texas and California and all of their historical territory there. Then in Central America we have Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. The whole Central America gang is here. Then we have the Spanish Caribbean is controlled all by Spain. The UK controls the Bahamas and Jamaica. We have independent Haiti. And I should mention that they exist in this country. The Kingdom of Hawaii is independent and rewriting the Great War. And then we have the USA, the United States, are led by FDR, although I think he's a placeholder because it is 1910, or maybe he isn't, I don't know. But he is there. That's just a situation in that country as of this time. And with that, this has been Rewriting the Great War. You can check out Rewriting History in the video description. I'll have a link to their channel there. I'll also have a link to the mod in the video description as well. If you enjoyed this video itself, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.